What's up, YouTube? I'm Trent Wel-Don. Welcome back to my channel, Wel-Don Aquatics. Guys, tonight it is water change night. It's been about a week since I've gotten the fish nook set up, some fish down here, and I wanted to do a new project to aid me in my water changes, so stand by. Alright, so I've had the nook set up for about a week now with most of the tanks down here, and I need to do some water changes. You know, I had finally some time to get down here and catch up on some things, and water changes is one of those. So I've shown you previously that I have my water valve down here to assist me with those water changes. That's one thing I really wanted, was a direct valve down here. But now I want something to help me even regulate my water changes even more so. So what I'm talking about here is we're going to build an inline thermometer tonight that's going to allow me to set my temperature of my water before it reaches my tanks. So this project, I originally saw it on Aquarium Co-Op's channel. I did find that Corey saw it from Inventory King on YouTube. So that's where I've seen it. So this is nothing new, but it's something I want to try, something I want to showcase down on my fish room to see, you know, this is me putting it to the test kind of a thing. So it's going to be a fairly simple build, mostly PVC connections, and really going to go fairly quickly. After this project, I'll have another video coming out that's going to showcase another piece of equipment that I've built to help with water change. It's going to kind of go hand in hand with this one, so stay tuned for that. So the first thing we're going to need is a thermometer. Like we talked about, this is going to be an inline thermometer that's going to help me regulate the water temperature that I put back into my tanks after draining them. So I went on Amazon and I found an inline thermometer that what it has here is a 1/2 inch thread on the stem that's going to, you know, allow you to mate it up with the female end. So then anything in this project that has a threaded portion, I like to put the Teflon tape on there, plumber's tape. I really want this to be a watertight seal. Don't want anything, you know, breaking apart or leaking in the process of this. So I will put a link in the description below of the Amazon link that I used to purchase this, about $15 on Amazon. The other thing I looked at was also using like a barbecue thermometer or a cheap one. I just didn't find a way to connect it as thoroughly. I'm sure there's something out there, but this was just so simple I wanted to try it. So what we're going to start with is a 3/4 inch PVC tee that slip on all three sides. Now I will say before I glue this together, I'm going to test fit everything on a dry fit, and then we'll go back and we'll tighten everything up and put some glue on them. So I've also cut up 2 lengths of 3/4 inch PVC pipe. It's no designated length, make this as long or short as you need to. Just as long as you get a good connection on all the fittings. So we're gonna put these in, one on either end of that 3/4 inch tee. Now we're going to need another piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe, and that is going to go on the T portion of that, well, of the T. You know what I'm saying. So this is what we're at right now. 3/4 inch T, 3/4 inch PVC on all three sides. Now I mentioned though that thermometer is a 1/2 inch thread. So what I have here is a 90-degree elbow that is 3/4 inch slip to a 1/2 inch female thread. And we're going to put that on this end here, and that's actually where the thermometer is going to rest and screw into. So wherever you hook this up to, you can get some connections to go really onto like a shower head, a sink valve. You can rotate that T in any direction you need to make sure your thermometer fits, but also gives you a good readout. So now what I initially found though is I had to go back to Home Depot probably 3 times for this project. The stem on this particular thermometer is too long to thread into that portion. So what I did is I got just a simple 1/2 inch slip to male thread. Again, Teflon tape on all of that. And we'll thread this. I'll go back and tighten this up, but this is just to show you how we're gonna build this. We're gonna thread that portion in. I've got a little piece, maybe 2 inches of 1/2 inch PVC pipe. We're gonna put that on there, and then we're going to take a 1/2 inch slip to 1/2 inch thread female and mate that up there. That is going to give me proper clearance for this thermometer to then thread in completely there. Now I say this will be going on my back area where my hoses are, so I will be rotating this, especially I want to be able to see, look directly on the thermometer to read the temperature, not, trying to crouch my head and everything. So before you glue it together, test fit it, get an idea where you want to place that. And then for me, since I will be connecting up to some 3/4 inch threaded connections, I have a 3/4 inch slip to 3/4 inch female thread. That's going to go on the top portion there. That will connect up to my actual valve area. And then I need to reconnect the hose. So I have a 3/4 inch slip to 3/4 inch male thread. We're going to put some Teflon tape on that down here on the bottom. And this is really a very rough but completed build of this inline thermometer. I am sure there are ways to make this much cleaner, simpler. I gauged that stem wrong. If I spent a little more time on this, I could probably make this a little shorter. But for my purposes, this is going to work fantastic. So I'm going to get this glued up, and we'll go on the back area and actually get this thing installed. All right, guys, so after we got the build done, I've now got this installed back on my water valve. And it's a good thing you can't see behind me because this room is a disaster. I know what Joey means when he says, ignore my mess, don't worry about it, I'm working. Anyways, not what we're here to talk about. All right, so you've seen this before. This is the water valve that I had plumbed in when we finished our basement out. And then I branched it off up here. It comes over here, hits the carbon filter, and this is gonna be the drip system. Got another piece coming up here for an RO unit. And then it branches down here to where we came to the refill hose. And we're also got another refill hose here. I took it off just to hook this up. It's going to feed the quarantine tanks that are coming down here. Now, all of this, I wanted to monitor the water temperature. It's very difficult to do as I don't have the handle hooked up yet. I'm still working on that. But even when that is hooked up, it's so hard to do water change by feel. I've done it for years now. Never had an issue. But now that I have a whole valve back here that I get to play with, I thought, why not do one of these? So currently what I do is I open the hot water valve just to make sure I get hot water going, shut that, open the cold valve 3/4 of the way, and then start messing with the hot valve to get my temperature right. Now all I've got to do is open up the cold water. Let's start the hot water. Just make sure that we got hot water in the pipe, but since mine's so close to my water heater, it's not that big of an issue. Then I'll shut that off, open the cold water, and all I have to do is I tweak the hot water. I'll be able to see the temperature right here. Super simple. It looks a little ghetto back here, but that's the beauty of these things though, guys. Sometimes they don't have to be pretty. It just needs to be practical and functional, which this is. I just built an inline thermometer. We're gonna say for 20 bucks. 15, probably about 20 bucks by the time you buy all these connection parts. And you could probably even build it for less. The thermometer is the most expensive part of this entire thing. But there you go. It is hooked up and we are rocking and rolling with this. So guys, thank you for joining me on this build. Stay tuned. I have another project coming up that's going to connect up to the water system here as well. It's going to be one step further in aiding me after we now got the inline thermometer hooked up. I need something at the other end of the tank to make sure we got correct water flow. So guys, thank you for joining me again, and we'll see you on the next one.